Hello and welcome. This video will cover all of the information for this topic. Feel free to watch the full video, or if you prefer, you can scrub along the timeline at the bottom and jump straight to the section of your choice. There are many definitions which cover the broad spectrum of health and well-being. Some, often used interchangeably, however, have different meanings. The current World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. The Department of Health uses a broad definition that covers physical and mental health, in addition to well-being. Well-being is defined as a positive physical, social and mental state. Both physical and mental well-being are important, as well as the recognition that there is a huge range of societal, individual and environmental factors that affect an individual's well-being. Good health and well-being can bring many benefits, with healthier people tending to be happier, playing an active role in contributing to society and the economy, with poor health and well-being putting a strain on individuals, the NHS, the economy and the wider society. There are 5 ways to well-being, which comprise of a set of evidence-based actions developed by the New Economics Foundation, which promotes people's well-being. The 5 ways are used by health organisations, schools and community projects across the UK to help people take action in improving their well-being. The 5 ways include making conscious efforts to connect, be active, being mindful, continuing to learn, and to give back to society as a whole. In order to understand how lifestyle factors affect a client's health and well-being, it's useful to understand certain psychological theories linked to an individual's health behaviours. This will enable a fitness professional to best support their clients in their chosen behavioural change. A well-known theory covering all of the main lifestyle factors that affect health is called the biopsychosocial model, which includes the biological, psychological and sociological aspects of an individual. The biological components of the model include predetermined factors such as an individual's age, gender and race. There is very little influence which an individual has on these factors, as they are predetermined. Psychological component of health include an individual's cognitive traits and behaviours, including an individual's personality and prevalence to cognitive distortion, such as depression, anxiety, stress and anger. Studies show that being angry can increase inflammation, putting stress on the heart, increasing calcium buildup in the arteries, and increasing stress hormones. Individuals may have less influence over their emotions, however, can learn to manage them by reducing triggers and with specific cognitive therapies such as CBT. The choices which individuals make every single day, such as smoking, misuse of alcohol, unhealthy eating, inactivity and sedentary living, all have a large impact on an individual's health, wellness and self-esteem. And these are something within the psychological component which a client has full control over. The final component of the biopsychosocial model is that of the social construct, which includes factors from an individual's society and background. This includes an individual's socio-economic status, education, family, and religion. Similar to the psychological component, individuals will have little influence on these factors, as they depend on the area in which the individual lives and the networks available, such as social support, family, workplace and finances. According to the biopsychosocial model, biological, psychological and sociological factors all have an equal potential to influence an individual's health and well-being. The factors which have the most significant influence on an individual's health and well-being are known as the determinants of health. The determinants of health model links with the biopsychosocial model is the factors which contribute or contained within both models. However, The determinants of health model suggests the factors which constitute an individual's health and well-being are actually in order of significance. This is given from the inner to outer circle, starting with the primary determinant factors of an individual's health, being their individual traits, which includes an individual's age, ethnicity, and other personal characteristics. This is then followed by an individual's lifestyle and behavioural factors, including the use of recreation, leisure time, and an individual's mental well-being, such as their self-esteem and self-efficacy. Social networks, including family, relationships, and friends, is then stated as the next most important determinant of an individual's health and well-being. This is then followed by local economic factors, including an individual's income, employment status, education, and availability to local services and leisure, before the least controllable factor and least able to change is that of the political factor, which includes governmental policy, state decision, and culture. Some of the lifestyle choices and behaviours which individuals follow can affect their current and future health, with the following behaviours being proven to negatively impact on an individual's health and well-being, including inactivity and sedentarism, which is linked to cardiovascular and musculoskeletal diseases, smoking, which is linked to respiratory diseases such as COPD, drugs and alcohol, which are linked to dependency, liver cirrhosis, and cognitive dysfunction, poor diet, which is linked to metabolic diseases such as obesity and diabetes, and fatigue, which is multifactorial and is linked to weight loss and stress-related illness. We'll take a look at the causation and possible preventative strategies for these behaviours in a little more detail now. Physical activity is any bodily movement generated by skeletal muscles that requires energy expenditure. By performing the recommended levels of physical activity can prevent a number of conditions caused by inactivity, including cardiovascular disease, musculoskeletal conditions, mental health conditions, obesity, type 2 diabetes, and certain cancers. According to the World Health Organization, between 25 and 30% of all breast cancer, colon cancers, type 2 diabetes cases, and ischemic heart disease is due to inactivity. And according to the Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport, in the 2020 Active Life Survey, 37% of people living in the UK do not currently meet the recommended levels of weekly activity. There are lots of different factors as to why people's activity levels over the last 50 years have been declining. And these include a greater resilience on technology, such as online shopping, and labour-saving devices, such as mechanical gardening and laundry equipment. Choosing cars over active travel, even for short journeys, and a shift from manual labour jobs to sedentary working over the last 50 years has had a great impact, along with sedentary leisure and entertainment being on the rise, such as watching TV and playing computer games. These factors, along with personal factors, such as possible negative past experiences of sport and exercise, maybe at school, all contribute to an individual's likelihood of being physically active and achieving the minimum recommended physical activity levels. Strategies for individuals to reduce inactivity and the associated diseases include being more active and achieving the recommended 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity each week. Alternatively, individuals can aim to achieve 75 minutes of vigorous intensity activity or an equivalent combination of both. Incorporating activities that improve muscular strength at least 2 days a week is also strongly encouraged, along with flexibility exercises, ideally achieved daily. Other strategies include aiming to achieve 10,000 steps per day and increasing activities of daily living, such as gardening and walking, or using active leisure to commute to work, such as cycling. Some people may consider starting an active hobby, where their social structure will motivate and support individuals. Above all, any strategy which is recommended should be enjoyable for the individual, as this will promote adherence and possibly positive long-term behavioural change for the individual, mitigating the possible impact of inactivity and its association with ill health and disease. Being physically active and achieving the recommended minimum levels of activity is essential for an individual's health and well-being and promotes many benefits such as improved functionality and the ability to perform many other tasks throughout the day with less effort. An increase in physical activity levels enables the continued independence in older individuals, as well as maintaining and improving an individual's physiological condition, such as their strength, aerobic capacity and flexibility. This capacity to carry out activities of daily living and maintain independence promotes an individual's psychological well-being, reduces their stress and aids in weight management, and reduces the risk of ill health and developing possible chronic conditions. Despite the ever-growing evidence supporting the benefits of physical activity, the reality is that most individuals are not sufficiently active to maintain good health. There are currently 14% of UK adults who smoke, with 16% of the population being male and 13% of the population being female. Although there is a strong trend in people not smoking year on year, smoking still remains the leading cause of preventable death and disease in the UK, with half of all lifelong smokers dying prematurely, losing on average 10 years of life. With smoking killing more people each year than obesity, low physical activity, alcohol and drug use. Cigarettes contain over 4,000 toxic chemicals, and around 50 of these are carcinogenic. The three main toxins found within cigarettes are nicotine, carbon monoxide and tar, with other chemicals found in cigarettes including acetone, which is used in nail polish remover, and ammonia, which is used in toilet cleaner. When an individual stops smoking, they can expect their pulse to normalise within 20 minutes. It can then take a further 1 to 2 days for an individual's taste and smell to return. Depending on how long an individual has smoked and the amount regularly smoked, they can then expect improvement in circulation between 2 and 12 weeks. This is then typically followed by an improvement in lung function after 1 year. It can take an individual up to 15 years post-smoking cessation for the risk level of attributed disease to be that is the same as an individual who has never smoked. While smoking can do significant damage to a person's health over time, the body has a remarkable ability to repair itself once exposure to cigarettes and the harmful toxins inside them stops. Some of the benefits of smoking cessation include a reduced risk of developing cardiovascular and pulmonary disease, such as cancers and COPD, a reduced negative loop for stressors, an improved smell and taste, along with improved personal and oral hygiene, and an increase in disposable income. The longer an individual stops smoking, the less likely they are to start again, and the more profound the benefits will be, with individuals returning to non-smoker levels in their health over a number of years. Currently, 9% of UK adults have used non-prescribed drugs within the last year, with 38% of men and 19% of women consuming more than the recommended 14 units of alcohol per week. Both drug use and excessive alcohol consumption are a major national health issue, with alcohol accounting for 10% of the national burden of disease and death. There are many different biopsychosocial factors for individuals using alcohol and or drugs during their life, some of which include coping strategies to stressors or triggers, such as having alcohol to relax or to deal with other emotions such as anger or depression, or wider psychological issues such as abuse or bereavement. An individual's culture, societal norms, peer pressure, and wanting to fit in all have significant impact on an individual's likelihood of using alcohol and or drugs. This regular use can then become a habit or psychological or physiological addiction, and possibly due to a lack of education with some individuals being unaware of the potential risks, or a denial or refusal to believe that they will be affected by the behaviour can manifest into dependency, where chronic health conditions are far more likely. Strategies for individuals to reduce the impact of drugs and alcohol include limiting alcohol to the upper limits of 14 units per week and avoiding binging and purging. If you, a friend or a family member is having a difficult time in changing their behaviour, then they may wish to seek support and guidance, where possible strategies can be recommended, and possibly seek clinical interventions to alter their behaviour. If an individual is not able to or wishing to cease, then a recommendation to taper their intake or include substance-free days may be a good alternative to lessen the impact to their health, with the possibility of the reduction in usage and or dependency over time. While drugs, and alcohol specifically, can be medicinal and enjoyable in a controlled quantity, they can also do significant damage to an individual's health over time. By stopping or reducing to safe limits will increase an individual's health and wellness, including reducing the risk of chronic diseases such as cardiovascular, central nervous, metabolic, and some cancers. Improving cognition and clarity of thought, mood, and reducing injuries through accidents or self-harm, along with a reduced chance of dependency and suicide risk. By stopping or reducing drugs and alcohol can also increase an individual's disposable income, increasing life expectancy and positive outcomes of the individual. An imbalanced and unhealthy diet poses a significant risk to health and well-being, including diseases such as obesity, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, and coronary heart disease. There are many different reasons people may adopt certain eating behaviours, including a lack of education and knowledge about healthy eating and what constitutes a healthy diet. Financial reasons, such as being able to eat food that is affordable. Certain dietary habits may also come from convenience, such as busy families and busy professionals choosing to eat out or fast microwave meals due to perceived lack of time or energy to prepare and cook their food. Some individuals may present body image disorders or anxieties, which may lead to distorted eating patterns, such as anorexia or binge eating disorders, with some individuals affecting their health due to emotional eating habits, such as in times of stress or times of depression. Some possible strategies for individuals to reduce the impact of poor diet on their health can include following recommendations from Public Health England's Eat Well guidance and using the Food Standards Agency's traffic light system when shopping and buying food. By ensuring that individuals stick to their recommended daily and or weekly calorie goals will ensure a healthy weight is maintained, along with planning and preparing food in advance will also ensure that dietary success is achievable. If an individual is requiring extra support or a possible intervention to deal with issues related to their dietary or eating habits, they should then be encouraged to seek professional support and guidance, possibly from a dietitian. A healthy diet with a balanced intake of the main nutrients plays a key role in both the prevention and the management of health concerns. Some of the benefits of a healthy diet include an improvement in BMI, obtaining a healthy weight, with a healthier body composition of reduced subcutaneous and visceral fat, and an increase in lean muscle mass. An improved physiological condition, including positive health markers of reduced blood pressure and blood glucose levels, along with an improved psychological state, including greater well-being and confidence, are attributed to a healthy and balanced diet. With a reduced risk of ill health and developing chronic conditions such as cardiovascular and metabolic diseases, which will reduce life expectancy. Fatigue is a multifactorial and different from person to person. Typically, it's a downward cascade of energy, leading progressively to illness and possible chronic health conditions. Fatigue can be attributed to an individual's genetics, psychological stressors such as anxiety, depression, and physiological stressors such as chronic exercise or manual labour. Poor quality or disruptive sleep patterns, along with poor nutritional practices, also have a big impact on the causation of an individual's fatigue. There are many strategies an individual can do to manage fatigue more effectively, such as reducing stressors where possible and incorporating time-out strategies if and when required. Individuals may find benefit in learning how to relax and possibly incorporating meditation and centering practices, along with the improvement in regular sleep patterns, ensuring they follow guidance from the Eat Well guide, and include regular physical activity of 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week, will all reduce the possible impact of fatigue and the negative health benefits associated with it. Sleep is one of the most important factors affecting an individual's health and well-being. Ensuring that you get a minimum of 7 hours of good quality sleep every day is important to help individuals rejuvenate, with health benefits including boosting of energy and immunity, helping the body to recover from illness and disease. When you sleep, the body builds and repairs damage caused by the daily stressors, such as the biological and structural damage from physical activity and exercise. It also helps the mind de-stress, restoring mental and emotional well-being, while restoring hormonal balance and leading to improved cognition throughout the day. By leading a positive and healthy lifestyle will have a significant influence on an individual's health and well-being in all areas of the determinants of health model, as well as prevention of chronic health conditions. Individual physiological benefits include an improvement of all body systems, such as the muscular, skeletal, cardiovascular, neuro and endocrine systems, a stronger heart, improved circulation, stronger bones, strengthening the immunity and assisting in the management of many chronic health conditions. Lifestyle benefits include psychological benefits, such as improved self-esteem and self-confidence, reduced frustration with daily problems, a more constructive response to disappointments and failures, and possibly a reduction in anxiety and stress. Social and behavioural benefits include a willingness to adopt a positive lifestyle habits, including better nutrition, increased activity, a cessation of smoking, alcohol or drugs, the opportunity to make new friends, and the opportunity to share in active hobbies, reduced social isolation and possible improved self-confidence. The economic benefits of living a healthier and more positive lifestyle include having more disposable income and more gross domestic product and a greater economy for the nation, with more money being spent on leisure and a more productive workforce. Along with the improvement in governmental policy reform and reduced dependency on primary and secondary care services, leading to a healthier population on the whole, with reduced prevalence in disease such as hypertension, coronary heart disease, stroke, respiratory conditions, stress and anxiety, and clinical depression and the symptoms of depression and anxiety. Every individual has a different set of factors that will determine their success at changing a particular negative behaviour. There are many factors that provide potential barriers for participation in physical activity and the adoption of healthier lifestyle choices. To overcome these barriers, individuals need to be aware of what they are and why they exist. The health determinants introduced previously offers a starting point for recognising some of these factors that may influence the health and well-being of an individual and may provide barriers to healthy living for some people. A range of potential barriers that individuals may face include intrinsic barriers, which is something that a person perceives as a barrier, or extrinsic barriers, which is something that actually constitutes a barrier. Intrinsic barriers can be subdivided into either psychological or behavioural barriers. Psychological barriers preventing change may include an individual's low self-esteem, lack of confidence, or fear of failure, along with a negative predisposition or outlook. Whereas behavioural traits preventing change may include an individual's current habits, lifestyle, and lack of motivation or desire to want to make a change. This could stem from many things, such as the lack of education or the perceived notion that they are not doing anything impactful or detrimental to their health. Extrinsic barriers can also be subdivided into either physiological or sociological barriers. Physiological barriers preventing change may include an individual's sedentary working practices and lifestyle behaviours, also possible injuries or illnesses, and any disability, along with chronic health conditions and possible medications which can affect an individual's vitality, energy levels, and ability to make any impactful change. Sociological barriers may include the lack of time due to work or family commitments, lack of money or lack of transport or resources, particularly more isolated individuals who may be living in more rural areas. There is no single strategy or intervention that will address an individual's barriers. To ensure long-term change, a holistic, integrated and strategic approach is needed to tackle the many barriers and factors influencing an individual's health. Some possible strategies to overcome common intrinsic barriers may include an individual's overall psychological outlook. According to Rotter in 1966, individuals with an internal locus of control are more likely to adopt health behaviours because they believe that they are in control of their lives. Individuals with an external locus of control are more likely not to adapt healthy behaviours because they believe that external forces are in control of their lives. By having positive influencers or role models such as family, siblings or friends will enable peer support to achieve a change. A behavioural change is also more likely to be achieved if the goals are set and small individual steps are taken towards the ultimate goal. This is a process known as chunking. It's important that when a milestone is achieved, that success is acknowledged and rewarded in a non-detrimental or destructive manner, which is likely to promote the previous negative behaviours. Behavioural strategies to support change include becoming educated in the areas of change and the benefits to the change, as well as being accountable for your own actions and forming new positive habits, will all lead to a greater understanding and improved chance that the positive change will become permanent. Some of the possible strategies to overcome common extrinsic barriers may include an individual's physiological approach, including trying different activities to find the most enjoyable and sustainable activity for them. Maybe an individual may require clearance from their GP or referral to a specialist instructor or professional for support and assurance when making a positive lifestyle behavioural change. With some possible sociological strategies, including becoming more active in general everyday life, such as walking more and taking the car less, and by joining groups with friends or family for support and to share the cost of admission or services, such as transport, will all have a positive impact on reducing the sociological barriers which may be presented to individuals when making positive lifestyle behavioural change. Every individual has a different set of biopsychosocial factors that will determine their success at changing a particular negative behaviour. There are many behaviour change theories stating as to why individuals adopt certain negative traits. Ensuring an awareness of these behavioural change theories is useful for enabling suitable interventions to support client commitment to positive change. These behavioural change theories include the theory of planned behaviour, which explains that in order for a person to make a behavioural change, they need to have an appropriate combination of positivity, support, and control. The trans-theoretical model of behavioural change helps to identify a client's readiness to make a change, uses 5 different stages of pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. A decisional balance is a method of weighing up the pros and cons of making a change or changing a specific behaviour. This will help to highlight the individual's benefits of making a change and as such increase the likelihood of their success. The COM-B model, which explains that in order to make a behavioural change, a person requires the correct balance of capability, opportunity, and motivation. And the health belief model, which states that people are more likely to take preventative action and make change if they believe that they are at risk from a threat and they feel that the threat is severe enough to impact on their health. These theories are explored in greater detail within Unit 9, encouraging positive health and fitness behaviours in clients. You have now completed all of the content from this topic. If you have any questions from what was covered, please contact your tutor. Or if you'd wish to test your knowledge, why not try some of the mock questions? If you're happy with your progress in learning, feel free to move on to the next topic.